I found you, I found you. I found you.
Yay, I thought something was wrong with my computer.
No, I found you. It was just like there was a few people waiting, and I think with me trying to scroll through them, I might have just missed your name.
Probably.
How's your day been?
It's good. It's gone really quick, surprisingly.
Yes, I can do it a nap right about now.
Sorry?
I can do it a nap right about now.
Oh, yeah, I know. And it's so nice and sunny here today. It's like I could just lie in the bed in the sun patch and just doze off.
At least we have a long weekend, right?
Oh, I know. I have to catch up on all my lessons for next week, though.
Yeah, it's it's one of those things.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. We also think, we don't host over weekends, so, it's quiet over weekends. We can start.
Right. Hi, grade 4s. Welcome to our lesson today for Thursday. Can't believe it's already Thursday. The week's going so fast, eh? Okay. I just want to go through some rules with you guys because I see some of you didn't listen yesterday and then someone got kicked off of my lesson. So I'm not very happy about that. So remember, when we use the chat bar, okay, I love it when you guys type because it helps me to communicate with you guys. But please, when you write an answer, you only need to write it once. Because when you write the same thing over and over and over and over, you're taking up the whole chat bar and people are missing out answers or they're missing out questions or I don't even see questions. So please, we need to be respectful because that means you are bombing the chat bar. And if you have to be told not to do it, you will be removed, please. And if you're removed, that means you get taken off of my lesson for today. So let's not have anyone else get kicked off today. I know we all want to have fun. So please, let's respect the technology. And let's only use the chat bar for questions and answering one at a time. Okay, we'll understand. Okay, great. Thank you, guys. So, as I was saying, today's Thursday. We're still in week 5. And we are still doing grade 4 English, first additional language. We are going to focus a little bit more on our reading today. So I will have some of you maybe do some reading for me. But for those of you who maybe missed the lesson yesterday, let's just recap on what we did. So we read through another poem. So remember, it was that Dance Baby Dance poem. It was very cute. We practiced more of our rhyming words and our syllables. So remember, I told you you could either clap for syllables or do the chin technique. So I'm not sure which one you used and which one worked for you, but whichever one you did, I'm sure is perfectly fine. Then we even learned something new yesterday about words that imitate sound. So when you eventually go back to school, you can tell your teachers how clever you are. Now for today, I told you we're going to look at a fictional story. Now remember, a fictional story, does it mean it's true or does it mean it's untrue? So which one does fictional mean? Is it true or untrue? I think some of you are thinking very hard. So is fictional a true story or is it a made-up story? Okay, I see someone's answered me. Good, yes. So a fictional story good, guys, you're answering nice. Don't worry if you missed the class yesterday, it is on YouTube, so you can catch up. Okay, so let's look at what we're going to expect today. So we are going to cover some story elements. We're going to look at the characters, we're going to look at the plot, and we're going to look at the setting. So those are things that help to make a story more interesting for us to read. Then once we've read through the story, we're going to answer a few questions. So I hope you're ready. So when we talk about the characters in a story, I'm talking about the people or the animals that are in a story. So normally in your stories that are made up, they like to put animals in it because I think it's more interesting for us to read it. So if I use an example like, we all know Little Red Riding Hood, correct? I mean, we all did that story when we were little. I know I've read it plenty of times when I was, I think, in grade 1 and 2. That was a long time ago. So if we're using Little Red Riding Hood as an example, who are the characters of Little Red Riding Hood? So there's quite a few. So who were they? Got to think back now. Okay, so we definitely have the wolf. Who else was there? Yes, and we had Little Red Riding Hood. But who else? Good, Celeste. We had Grandma. And there was someone else that come right at the end of the story. I wonder who's going to remember. So I know I had the wolf, Little Red Riding Hood. I had Grandma. Ah, someone got it. And I had the woodsman or the axeman. Good, guys. Some of your memories are excellent. So we had Granny. We had Little Red Riding Hood. We had the wolf, who even dressed up as Granny. And then we had the woodsman or the woodcutter. Oh, someone's not muted. Okay, so remember that are the people or the animals in the story. Sorry, guys, let me just fix this quick. Yes, thank you. And there was the mom as well. Let me just fix my screen. Sorry, I don't know why this message pops up. There we go. Okay, thank you. Yes, mom was also in the story. She was the one who gave Little Red the basket. Now, if we're talking about the setting. So my setting is telling me where the story takes place. So if again, I think of the Little Red Riding Hood, because I think it's the easy story, where is the setting of the story? So where did this take place? Now remember, it takes place in not just one location. There's quite a few. Okay, so I know the woods is one of them. but there's also another place. Oh, good. Lorinta's got it. Celeste. So you can't just say the house. Nice. Oh, you guys are so descriptive, eh? So good. So it takes place in the forest or the woods, depending which one you want to use. And it also takes place at Granny's house. So those are the two main settings that we used in Little Red Riding Hood. So remember, setting just means a place. So it's just another word for place. And we can also say Mom's house right at the beginning of Little Red Riding Hood. Then my next one is the plot. So when we talk about the plot, that is just what the story is about. So this is a summary of what happens in the story. So if you're thinking back to the story, these are the main points that we talk about. So we normally write a few sentences to summarize. Now remember, if you did the Komodo dragon exercise with me, you learned how to summarize. So if I give you these pictures, how can you use them to help you summarize the story? So we have to think of what happens in the beginning, and then the middle, and then the end. So that will help us to summarize. So I wonder if you can tell me what happens in the beginning, in the middle, and the end. So remember, it's just a few words I want from you just to quickly tell me what happens in the story. Because you never know, maybe someone's never read the Little Red Riding Hood before, and they have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, so I see Katsu says, Granny's sick, so Mom and Little Red Riding Hood bake some food. Okay, nice. So that's what happens in the beginning. So now what happens as the story moves on? Yes, thank you, Celeste. So now Little Red Riding Hood sets off to Granny's house with the goodies. I like that. So she goes into the forest. Yes, so Mommy sent her. So she goes through the forest. And what happens? Yes, thank you. Then she sees the wolf. And the wolf asks her, where are you going? Good. Yes, you guys are excellent, eh? You've got good memories. So she meets Wolf. He asks where she's going, and she tells him to Granny's house. Then what happens? Oh, I think you guys are so busy typing, eh? Yeah. Yeah, so now the wolf decides to go to Granny's house. So he gets to Granny's house, and then what? Yes, so he decides to dress up like Granny. Because now remember, he wants to trick Little Red Riding Hood. Because he wants to eat Little Red Riding Hood. So then she asks him a lot of questions like, oh, why do you have such big ears? Why do you have such big teeth? And then what happens? Oh, you guys are good, eh? Yes, then he says, I'm gonna eat you. And he jumps up and he chases her around and she screams, ah! And then what happens? Then someone hears her Who's that person? Yes, thank you, Katsu. So now he tries to eat her, she screams, and the Axeman comes in and he chops the wolf. Okay, so if we had to sum that up, this is kind of what it would look like. So you see, it's a lot of sentences. But basically, this is everything you guys have told me now, which is awesome because this is how I've remembered the story. You guys are amazing. Okay, so just from the pictures, it's helped to remind yourselves about the story. So I'm very impressed. Well done. So now that you know what characters are, what the setting is, and what the plot is, we're going to have a look at our story now. Okay, so you ready? So let's put Little Red Riding Hood aside because now we're going to do a different story now. So this was just to get your brains into the lesson. So I've given you 3 pictures and I want you to try and predict the story for today. So try and think who the characters are. So by looking at those 3 pictures, who are my characters? So I know they're birds, but what are they? Come, give me more details. So I've got a chicken, thank you, or a hen, nice. Yes, there's definitely a crow. What else is there? Oh, where do you see a snake? Thank you, it's a frog. It's not a
Hi guys, as I've said in the chat box, please stop spamming the chat. Teacher has disconnected, she's joining back up. Please just give her a moment. Thank you. Please switch off all of your video cameras.
It kicked me off. I think it was moaning at me for talking too much. Okay, so we left off before my internet rudely kicked me off. So we said we had the crow, the hen, and the frog. Then I asked you where the story takes place. So I want the setting, please. So just look at those three pictures. I know it doesn't give you a lot of information, but let's think. Okay, so someone thinks it's a farm. Someone thinks it's a tree, a forest. Someone also thinks a farm, a garden. Okay, so when we read the story, you will see if you are correct. So we've got woods, a path, a farm, a zoo. Okay. A garden that has no flowers. Oh, shame, it's a sad garden. Okay, so we're going to read through the story now, and then we'll see if you are correct with the setting. And we know now who the characters are. I think that's quite easy to tell. So the story we're going to read today is called Frog and Crow Get the Wrong Message. So I'm sure you can see nicely there in the picture, there's a crow and there's a piece of paper flying past him with a message. Okay, so is there anyone who wants to read the first paragraph for me? So I'm talking about those first few lines. Yeah, so guys are fast. Tabelo, you put your hand up first. So let's unmute Tabelo. Okay, we got you.
Sunny day, Mr. Crow sat on a branch of the marula tree, watching the animals busily collecting their food. Suddenly, he saw a piece of paper blow past Crow. Crow swooped down and caught the scrap of paper and read it. It said DMBW2.
Hey, thank you. Good job. So let's see. Oh, you guys, I love how excited you are to read. Okay, so I'm going to pick, trying to think who didn't read yesterday. Let's go Laurentia. So
This
don't
must
type in the chat box. Sorry. Carry on.
This must be a secret message, Crow said to himself. Frog was hopping by and overheard Crow. A secret, he said. I love secrets. Crow showed Frog the note. I wonder what it means, asked Frog nervously.
Very nice. You read with such great expression. Awesome. Okay, let's have Joy. So Joy, you're going to read the next paragraph for me. So there we said DM Crow muttered. Are you there, Joy? Okay, let's choose someone else. I think Joy's sleeping. Okay, I see. Oh, where's all these hands gone? Oh, there we go. Okay, let's go with Hillary. See, I've got some new people today. Okay, Hillary, you're going to read DM Crow muttered for me.
Where was?
So there where it says DM Crow muttered.
DM crow muttered. DM must mean I don't move. Someone is watching me. I'm sure they are tough. I must be in terrible danger. What can I do? I wonder what BW means, Crow asked, flapping his wings. I've got it, he screeched. BW means beware. I must not move, and I must beware. Poor me, what can I do?
Thank you. Very nicely read as well. Okay, let's have Daisy.
Wait a minute, Frog cried. The note is for me, too. It says, too. It means that the note is for both of us. We're in terrible danger, screeched Crow. We're in big trouble. What can we do? Frog crowed. Oh, what can he do? They fell to the ground, holding their heads. Then Mrs. Hen came down the path carrying a shopping basket. What is the matter with the two of you? She asked. Why are you lying on the ground moaning? Then she saw the scrap of paper and took it.
Very, very nice. You guys are amazing with your reading, hey?
It's not.
Okay, so let's go to the next page and let's have, so hard to choose, you guys. You're all so excited. How about Kira?
Oh, you found my second shopping list. I've been looking for it everywhere, said Miss Hen. Your second shopping list? Crow and Frog asked. Yes, it's number 2. DM means dried mealies and BW means bag of worms. There's nothing tastier than dried mealies and worms. Crow and Frog looked at each other and they began to laugh. They fell to the floor laughing at each other. Miss Hen walked off with her basket. I wonder what's so funny. I can't wait to have mealies and worms for supper. I can never eat enough worms, she thought.
Thank you. Guys, you are awesome. Hey, I'm so excited that you're so eager to read. So now that we've gone through the story, and I hope you enjoyed it, I thought it was quite a funny story, we're going to go through some questions. So remember, I'm going to read the questions first, and then we're going to answer them one at a time. Okay, we don't want to bomb the chat group. Remember, I spoke to you about this at the beginning. So let's work together, please. All right. Thank you. So, number 1, you're going to tell me who are the characters. Number 2, what is the setting of the story? Number 3, what is the plot? Write 3 sentences. So this one's quite a long answer. And number 4, what problem did our characters have? So those are the 4 questions we're going to answer together now. Now, number 1. Remember we did discuss this already. Who are the characters? Awesome, you guys are like waiting to answer these questions. Nice. So I've got 3 of you who've got it right so far. Oh, you're thinking of the first story we talked about. Yes, good, guys. I'm glad you're paying attention. Nice. I like how you separated your answers. Excellent. Remember, there are 3 characters, so not just 1 or 2, there are 3. Okay, good. So we can see that we've got the crow, we've got the frog, and we've got the hen or Miss Hen. So those are my 3 characters. Now, from listening to the story now, where do you think the setting of the story was? So it wasn't a field. So they were definitely in a tree, but where are you going to find trees? Okay, you guys are, oh, you're giving lots of good answers, eh? Oh, a village. I didn't think of that one. So the woods and the forest. Okay, so we're getting there. We're on the right track. Okay, so maybe it could have been a farm, but if I'm thinking, hen was walking all over. So it can't really be a farm because hen can't really walk far on a farm. So maybe she left the farm and walked through a forest. Oh, a swamp. I don't think it was a swamp. Now, for number 3, you're going to have to write quite a bit for me. So I want to know, what is the plot? So what was the main things that happened in the story? So think what happened at the beginning, the middle, and the end. Okay, so Katsu's got a nice explanation for me. So remember, write 3 sentences. So they must be separated by a full stop. So think what happened right at the start, then what happened, and then what happened last. I think you guys are thinking really hard, eh? Good. Yes, they definitely thought they were doomed. Yes, so I'm going to help you with this one. So I think this one is a lot of information. So we said for number 3, the plot was, the first thing that happened, remember, was Crow finds a note or a piece of paper. And he thought it was a secret message. So then Frog comes along and he tries to help Crow with the that it's actually Hen's shopping list. So that's why they were laughing on the floor, because to them they thought they were in huge trouble. Meantime, Hen was just out buying some worms and minis. So number 4, what problem did the characters have? So when I'm talking about the characters, I'm talking about Frog and Crow. So what problem did they think they had? So what did they think was their problem once they found the letter? Okay, thank you, Celeste. So we're on the right track now. So the letter they thought brought a problem with them, but what was it? Yes, so they thought someone wanted to hurt them. They were in danger. Good, so we're on the right track. So they thought the note was trying to warn them of trouble, because they thought it was saying beware. And Frog also thought he was involved as well. Nice job. Okay, you guys are good at answering questions, hey? Shows me you pay attention very well. So now, with this next one, I want you, excuse me, to help me put these pictures in order. So you'll see I've got some numbers at the bottom, and you need to tell me, according to the story, which picture came first. So if I'm looking at number 1, is it going to go to the top or the bottom? Okay, so I see someone says down left. Someone says bottom. So remember, you must tell me where to the bottom. Is it going to the bottom left or the bottom right? Down first, down left. The one where the crow is flying, nice. Good description. Okay, so number 1 is definitely going to the bottom, but it's going to where the crow is flying. Because remember, that's the one where Crow found the note and he swooped down and he caught the piece of paper. Now, where's number 2? Okay, I think this is easy, eh? So after Crow found the letter, then Frog came along and tried to help him figure out the secret code. Good. Now what about number 3? So is it the top left or the top right? Okay, you guys are good, eh? You're answering fast. Ooh, have to keep up. Okay, so remember now, after they found the letter and they thought they were in deep, deep trouble, then someone came along and told them it's not a message. So it's the top right. So the one where hen's looking at the piece of paper. Then my last one, which I think is very obvious, it ends where Crow and Frog were laughing. Yes, thank you. So there we've now sequenced our pictures according to our story. So pictures also help you because they let you rethink about the story, but in pictures. I love pictures. Helps me remember stuff. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that story, because for your homework today, and yes, I know it's a long weekend, but that means you've got lots of time. So you're actually going to write a story for me where you're going to think of 2 animals. And these 2 animals are going to help each other to solve a problem. So you can pick any animal you want, and it can be any problem. But remember to use the writing process. So you need to use a mind map for your planning. So you'll see I've got an example here. And then when you're writing your story, you need to have a title. So give your story a name. Think of what happens in the start, the middle, what the problem is, and the end. So maybe how they solved the problem. So you can get nice and creative here. And if you really want, you can even draw me a lovely picture of your 2 animals. Because I love to see how creative you guys are. You've got such amazing imaginations. So when you are done with your story, I would love you to please email them to me. So remember, you can either write your story out on a piece of paper, or you can type it up on your computer. I really don't mind. Okay, you're allowed to do any form of writing, physically or computer. I don't mind. Then once you're finished, please email it straight to me because I get them right on my phone and then I can check them out. So to find your homework, remember, you go onto the Africa Teen Geeks website. Scroll down. Open a folder, and grade 4 English will have those same worksheets. So who's not sure where to find the homework so I can quickly show you? Who wants me? Okay, I see a few people. So I'm going to quickly show you where to go if you're looking for the Africa Teen Geeks website. Let me just find my thing. Okay, we go. Just get my Google page open. I suppose I need to share it with you. Okay, let me share my screen. Sorry, I forgot about that part. There we go. Okay, so when you go onto Google, you're going to type there, Africa Teen Geeks. Then it will be the top one. Click on it. So it might take a little bit long to load depending on your internet speed, but that's okay. Then when you're on the home page, go over to where it says Lockdown eSchool, because that's where you'll find your homework. Internet slow. Okay, so like I said, you're gonna have to scroll down quite a bit because this is all the classes that we have online. Then we've got the worksheets. Click on grade 4 documents. Then this will open a whole new file. Then you'll see it's got English. You open that. And when you're in English, there's your animal story. Okay. So hopefully now you guys know where to find my homework when I give it to you. So there's no excuses now because I've showed you. Okay, so then for your homework, our next lesson. My slide's not working. Here we go. So on Monday next week, I am going to do a little bit of language skills. So we're going to look at practicing your adverbs, and we're going to learn what a phrasal verb is. So if you don't know what a phrasal verb is, don't stress. We are going to learn what it is. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson today. Thank you for being more respectful. I do appreciate it, and I hope you keep it up. And I hope you have a fantastic long weekend. And I will see you guys back here next week. Okay, have a lovely weekend, guys. Thanks for the lesson today.